Hello, class of 2024. We're here to talk about the Upper Darby High School Scholarship Program, and I'm going to give you a little bit of background on that. My name is John Snow. I'm a member of the math department and part of the scholarship committee. This scholarship committee started way back in 1922. It's the oldest and largest in the county. We distributed over $400,000 in scholarship money last year alone. Many of the scholarships are awarded by Upper Darby graduates and their families. Being awarded a scholarship connects you to a legacy of achievement at Upper Darby High School. The members of the scholarship committee are Ms. Alderossi, who represents the World Language Department, Steve Jenneman, who represents English, Teresa Diamond from the Science Department, Liz McDonald representing History, John Snow, which is me, representing Mathematics, and then your center staff, Jason Krauth, Myra Elias, Jen Sullenberger, and Joe Niagara, the assistant principal. So the 9 of us get together over about a 6-week period, review all applications, and I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Niagara so he can discuss the process with you.
Hello everyone, I'm Joe Niagara. I'm the assistant principal for the 12th grade, and the purpose of tonight's presentation is just simply to review important information about the application process for our seniors when it comes to applying for scholarships. So all applications this year for our scholarship program will be submitted through a Google form. That Google form will be distributed to all students through our school email. It will also be posted on Schoology. I will also be sending it directly to parents. Applications must be submitted by Thursday, January 25th at 3 p.m. This is a hard deadline. This year our applications are submitted digitally, okay, and the cutoff, the application will actually shut off after 3 p.m. So you won't be able to apply after that point. So again, it's really important. It's Thursday, January 25th. At 3 p.m. Your application this year, as explained by Mr. Snow, will be reviewed by the Scholarship Committee. The Scholarship Committee deliberates from February to April. We review each application and we find the best fit for all of our scholarships. And that students are awarded their scholarship at senior awards night. So seniors really won't know what scholarships they were awarded until that night. So the scholarship program itself, there are 2 types of scholarships that are available through our scholarship program. The first is the Principals and Scholarship Committee scholarships. These are available to all students who plan on attending a trade school, technical school, schools of nursing, colleges, or universities. These scholarships are based primarily on academic achievement, financial need, and a contribution to the school community. The amount of award will vary and will be determined ultimately by the Scholarship Committee. The second type of scholarship that we have are named scholarships. These are awarded based on specific criteria established by the donors. The financial values and criteria are included in the packet of scholarships for the class of 2024, which are there for you to review, and that funds from these scholarships will be distributed directly to the school. And actually for both scholarships, those funds will be distributed directly to the school that the student will attend. Now, as you review the scholarship packet, you may note that some scholarships are marked with an asterisk. And for those scholarships, the funds allocated to the student can cover additional educational expenses beyond tuition. Those are few and far between, but as you kind of read, just take note of that, that some of the scholarships can be used for things like books. Okay. So in terms of what do you need to do and what do you need when you actually sit down to apply, okay? And I think the first thing that our seniors need to understand and our families need to understand is that you need to carve out an amount of time to complete this application, okay? So I believe, just kind of reviewing it and what you need to actually complete it, that the application could take you upwards of an hour to complete. And that the application must be completed in one sitting. So this isn't something you can kind of do piecemeal. You actually have to complete it in one sitting, namely because the application will not save your progress as you kind of move in between the different sections of the application. Secondly, you want to make sure you have a knowledge of the scholarships available. Okay, we offer over 120 scholarships to our seniors this year. You want to make sure that you review each one, and you want to review them with your student to make sure that they understand what scholarships that they could kind of essentially fulfill the criteria for. And that students should really know that they can apply to multiple scholarships. That's really important, okay? This isn't, you don't look at this list and just find one. You want to be considered for all the scholarships that you could possibly be considered for, okay? So you really want to read the criteria closely. If you fit the criteria, then you absolutely want to make sure that you apply for that specific scholarship. And that's just kind of how our system works, right? Our students apply to specific scholarships, especially with the named ones, and that they then can, if they meet that criteria, then they'll be considered for that scholarship. Now, in terms of like hard documents that you actually need to apply, students need a completed financial need form. This year, that financial need form is completely digital. It'll be delivered to you in the form of a fillable PDF. And that PDF needs to be uploaded at the end of the application. So as you kind of go through the last slide, you'll note that there'll be a place for you to upload a PDF. You want to make sure you have a completed version of the financial need form and then upload that. Secondly, you need a federal income tax return from 2022. Now, this does not apply to all students. However, if you are applying for any need-based scholarships, we do need that tax return, okay, and you can attach that to your financial need form. Actually, it'll be a particular place for you to upload that. So again, you need a digital copy of your tax return from 2022. You also need a clear recent photo of yourself. So, we do have, you take pictures every year, but we do think we benefit from having a recent photo from you. So if you have a senior portrait, you can upload a version of your senior portrait. If you are, if you just have a tasteful professional photo of you that you think kind of shows us who you are, your personality, then I think you should upload that as well, okay? And just, again, you're going to upload one photo. And that you need to have a digital copy of all these forms. So you need to have a digital copy of the financial need form, the federal income tax return, and the photo. And there'll be a place at the end of the application for you to upload all three. So how do you apply? So in this presentation, and again, this presentation has been shared out to you, that you can access the application through these three links. Okay, so you see there we have the scholarship application linked, our financial need form, as well as a list of scholarships with descriptions. The list of scholarships with descriptions is also available in the center. We have a number of printed copies, so if students just want to have a printed copy next to them to kind of reference, or for you to review together as a family to kind of see which ones you apply to, then you can do that, okay? For any questions related to your application, okay, you want to contact, we actually have a specific email for any questions related to scholarship, and that's udhs-scholarship@upperdarbysd.org. So I do have, just to kind of close out, we do have some tips for students applying to our scholarship program. I understand it's a pretty daunting process. The application to college is difficult enough, and we kind of wanted to streamline a lot of the scholarship application this year by making it digital. It's a format more familiar to our families who have been applying to college and all of that. So, but still, I have some tips for you as to how you can, display who you are in the best possible light. Okay, so first off, I want everyone to realize that if you are thinking about applying to scholarships, that there is more than likely a scholarship for you. And that if you believe you fit the criteria, you should absolutely apply. Secondly, make sure you have all the materials necessary to submit your application before you complete the application. That's really important. You don't want to get to the end of the application and realize you are missing the PDF of your financial need form, you're missing your tax return. You really want to make sure that you have all of those documents present while, as you are concluding your application. And then lastly, make sure you have that clear recent picture of yourself. The other really tip I have for you is make sure you're specific when listing your activities, okay? The application is going to ask you to talk about the awards you've earned at Upper Darby, how many times you've earned honor roll and distinguished honor roll. It's also going to ask you to talk about, say, the sports, music, clubs, any publications present here at school. It's also going to ask you if you've been working outside of school. So you really want to make sure that you're displaying yourself in the best possible light and giving us the most relevant information to your experience here at Upper Darby. And there's a few reasons for that. One, it gives us a broader picture of who you are, right? We know who you are on paper. We know your grades. We know who you are in our interactions with us. However, we might not know all of your extracurriculars. We might not know that you have 2 siblings that you're responsible for. We might not know that you're that you're working at the local pizza shop for 20 hours a week. Okay, so you really want to give us as much information as possible so we can consider that in making our decision for the scholarships that you're eligible for. And so I do have some examples there, just as a way of thinking about how to put your experience on paper. So say if you played varsity girls lacrosse, you also want to note how many years you've been participating. 4 years in this case. And then you should note that anytime that you are in a position of leadership. So say if you're captain your senior year, you should note that. If you work at, say, CVS Pharmacy and you're a cashier, note the position and then tell me how many hours a week you work, in this case 30. If you're part of music, tell me how many, especially any auditioned music group here at the high school, tell me you should note which music group you're part of and the years of participation. Same thing goes for things like publications or clubs, okay? If you are in a position of leadership, please mark yourself and record that. So if you are, say, a staff writer, a president, if you're the vice president, whatever that is, you want to make sure you note that on your application because that is really, really important and gives us a broader picture of who you are as a student. Okay. As always, if you have any questions, you can reach out to myself. Our counseling staff is also available. Any questions that are directly related to scholarship, I would really urge you to reach out to our scholarship email. It's just kind of a good place to keep all of those questions in one spot, and there will always be someone from our committee that can go back through, review your questions, and answer them. However, if you do have anything that you just kind of have a question about or you're having difficulty completing, please reach out to me directly, and I can, aid you the best I possibly can. All right. Well, thank you very much. I hope you all have a great evening, and I look forward to reading your applications.